Hi everyone, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening. Spring has sprung in the garden, so let's go check it out. It's that time of year again. The garden is waking up. It is spring in upstate New York, zone 5B/6A, and we wanted to take you along every week for the next few months to kind of show you how quickly and how fast the garden is changing. And you can just immediately see behind us the boxwood clippings all over the ground.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Christopher just finished going around and clipping the boxwoods. So as we're going through the garden, just keep in mind the boxwoods have recently been sheared, cut. They've been
cut. And this is the perfect time for it. We've got 3 or 4 dry days, mild temperatures, and they've just started putting out blooms actually when I was getting in there to cut.
Wow, that's surprising. So come along this way. You'll notice our leucogems are starting to bloom. These were just planted in the fall.
These deserve a whole close-up. They're the first time we've ever grown these, and look at this flower. It's so cute.
It's so cute. And we recently added these copper mushrooms. We have to cut that tag off, but copper is the traditional wedding anniversary gift for the year for 7 years. So I bought Christopher those for our 7-year anniversary. The hydrangea room is starting to wake up, and I am so excited for it. We planted this hydrangea room in the fall. We dug out the sod. It is a combination in the front row of Incredible Blush and Incredible White. And then the back row is Invincible Sublime and Invincible Lace. And I am so excited. Also, throughout the tour, you're going to see these white lines. This is going to be our new edging for the garden for the season. So that's just a guideline for us to make sure that we know where to cut the grass and that we like the shape of the beds. We showed you the hellebores last week, but look how much progress the Maronera is having. It is growing so quickly.
They look so good. I believe that is it Jack of Diamonds or Queen of Diamonds?
I don't know of diamonds. I don't know. But I know it's a proven winner's Maronera. The buds on the Invincible Spirit 2s are super swollen. I'm really excited about that. The peonies are poking up. Over here, we did suffer a little setback in this area. We had a mill on the floss rose, and we had a couple of sedum and stuff. And the mill on the floss rose came right out of the ground when Christopher was pruning it. And I think because I discovered a nest underneath this little dwarf mugo pine, I think that whatever was living in that nest was also nibbling the roots of the things over here.
Yeah, because we had 3 autumn joy sedum, and there's only 1 plant, and you can't see the remnants of the other 2.
Yeah, so I think we might have suffered some destruction at the hands of a critter, but that's gardening, you know? Look at this. This is the Kinsley Ghost honeysuckle. I can't believe how much it is leafed out for this early in the season.
Yeah, it looks really good. Didn't you buy that as a quart size 2 years ago?
This was a quart size, probably 3 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
The Jacob's Ladder, Heaven Sent. It's got buds. It's getting ready to bloom. Sends a beautiful, tall, gorgeous blue flowers. There is growth at the base of our Seaside Serenade back there. The stems have died. So it's didn't survive the winter like we thought it would. The stems are goners, but there is fresh growth from the base. These Litchfield urns, I think, are going to be home to some new Mongaves this season.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I think that's correct.
And I noticed that the roses are really pushing growth. Generous Gardener is looking fantastic. Betty Corning is bonkers at the bottom of this. We're going to have to really keep our eye on her because she's already leaning towards that Bobo over there.
Yes, I'm going to actually, we got to get our new black chicken wire and make the cages to put around things.
Oh, yeah, because the rabbits will come and eat her up. Look at the dog. Even the pagoda dogwood is looking so... See, our winters are so rough in the Northeast that, like, this is so exciting. And the garden transforms so quickly over the next few weeks. I mean, when you look back on our Instagram, because we don't have YouTube videos from last year yet, but if you look back on our YouTube pictures and reels from last year at this time, over the next few weeks, it explodes.
Earlier this week, we shared with you this amazing transformation over here, the new Tromner bed.
I can't believe we didn't do it sooner.
It looks really good. The drone footage, I don't know if Eric at this point will have seen it, and it just looks so good. It kind of just makes sense as a space. And especially after we had been rained out doing that project, getting to just see everything dry and lines all cleaned, it's really, really going to be good. Having an urn here with cascading hydrangeas and some kind of centerpiece of something. We'll figure something out. I'm finding that there are peonies everywhere that I don't remember planting. There's one in particular I noticed here. I don't remember that being there last year. So I don't know if that might need to get transplanted, because who knows what color it is. I don't even remember putting it in, let alone what the variety is.
I did want to point out our natural soil. So this is what our soil is. It's basically sand and rock. And a tiny bit of clay thrown in there for good measure.
Yeah, every once in a while it's just like somebody threw in some molding clay just to confuse us.
We should keep our eye out for deer hoof prints to see if they've been back since we put out this wireless deer fence stuff.
Back here, and you could actually see there's more of the white line right here that's going to just soften this edge a little bit to blend with the new Tromner bed. You can see Camassia are coming up. I'm not going in there in white sneakers. That was a dumb idea for today. The Camassia are these little clusters of grass. I planted a whole bunch of them around, and they are spreading.
Well, they look like grass. They aren't grass.
They're not grass. They just look like it. Here's some backlight phlox. Again, these are things sometimes we're not sure if they were coming back or not. But this little phlox group, the 5 of them, they're coming back.
They seem to be a favorite of the groundhog that lives on the hill.
That's the big problem, is that dumb groundhog. For the first time in its whole existence, this winter gem boxwood just got clipped.
I mean, and they look great.
As we're approaching it, I can see that I got a little bit lumpy over on this side, but this really does not have great branching. Oh, the wind is knocking stuff over there.
Everything is looking great on the containers. We still have very sparse blooms on the pansies, which I'm really surprised about. I really thought they'd be like exploding as soon as they got into the soil. I've even fertilized them with some of the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer. Daffodils, the tulips are looking great. I'm loving the obelisk. There's a North Pole arborvitae in the center. These, again, are going to be taken out. Did we tell everybody yet that these are being replaced with some gorgeous Campania International containers?
We did not tell them yet what they were.
Well, I'm really excited about them, and I can't wait to share them with you. Christopher, right behind you, the Jane Magnolia is starting to open. This is a highly fragrant magnolia. The blooms are beautiful. We are going to prune it up a little bit to make it into a 3-stem small tree.
Small, but it eventually will be big, big, big.
You're going to see some revised white lines on the side here. You'll notice that the shape of the bed is changing a bit, especially towards the end. Our Let's Dance can-dos are really popping open right now, looking good. Growth way up here, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah, they did very well over the winter.
Especially because those were also just planted in the fall. You see behind that grow bags filled with bare root roses.
Yes, a lot of roses.
They're going in the ground soon. They're just kind of there so that they're in soil. Our Deutzias are getting ready to bloom. They have buds coming up on them. That's exciting.
Are those Yuki Snowflake or Cherry Blossom?
They're Yuki Snowflake.
The white.
Yes.
Okay.
The Vanderwolf Pine is, of course, looking gorgeous as usual.
Candles up on top, I can see them.
And you'll see something is missing right here. Our weekend forsythia is gone. We took it out. We had told everybody, it's coming out because there's going to be a Japanese maple being put in here. And I'm really excited to see that. It's called Wabi Sabi. That's going to be an exciting addition. Claire has been pruned up. A bunch of perennials in here that weren't quite working for us have already been removed. This is getting revamped. The Ember Waves is looking very nice, that bright golden color.
It's very needed on the side of the house.
And look at the growth on Woolerton Old Hall. This is a David Austin climbing rose. This is 3 trellises, simply from Home Depot. They are zip tied together to maintain that like tight unified look. We have them hung on the vinyl fence hooks. I added some bricks to prevent the neighbor's grass from growing under the fence. I mean, how do you guys all deal with like grass growing under the fence into your yard and your garden beds?
Yeah, there's a question of the day.
Yeah, I think that's important. Oh, our Artemisia is coming back. Silver
Oh, the
bullet,
silver
right?
lining, it's coming back.
Silver lining.
We were wondering if it would come back. It was a really nice perennial that we tried last year. I think that might be just coming out officially this year.
Yes. The limelight hedge right behind me is looking great. It is all holly toned up. There's also overnight weeds sprouting up.
Yeah, a strange weed that we can't identify.
So we just got to stay on top of those. Emily Bronte has been all pruned back. This is getting revamped, reworked, because this bed is popping out here, which is really exciting. Daffodils are in bloom. I feel like there's so much going on this time of year that it's hard to mention everything and notice everything.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
But that's kind of what the great part is. You do all the work, and then you get to sit back and see what's alive.
The daffodils. We got these new supports came in. These are these Jardan sticks?
Jardan stakes.
Jardan stakes from Gardener's Supply, of course. Everything's waking up in here. It's just such an exciting time of year.
The larch, the Diana contorted larch, is sending out its needles, which right now feel like, they kind of feel like those silicone brushes that you put barbecue sauce on chicken. That's what they feel like right now. They're like almost rubbery. It's really cool. And these are all of those purple illusion salvia plus a weed that we had transplanted last year when we divided them. They're all doing really well. I'm excited to see that color in this spot. It's going to be really nice under the larch. Let's see.
This is a mock orange.
This mock orange really was mocked by the deer last year.
It got eaten last year, I think more in the fall. Like, remember when that herd came through?
Yeah, when that herd came through, it just cleaned this thing out. But it's putting out all of this new growth. So I think we are going to get the flowers. And I can't wait to smell them because they're supposed to smell so good. A little bit of update on Eustacia Vi that I had to cut back nearly to the ground. Growth from all 3 roses, and we will see what we get there. These 5 Sprinter boxwoods, they look good, right? They're small, they look good. Here's the thing, Sprinters grow upright really, really quickly. So what I found when I was pruning them, and this was their first time getting a real hard prune, is they've flopped out so much during the wintertime under snow because so much was upright. So I wanted to really take a lot off the top to encourage more branching and get more of that dense branch appearance. What are you looking at behind
There's
me?
a bird behind you playing in the leaves.
Oh, the way he just looked over there, you would have thought some
larger
critter was coming for me. So, okay, that's fine. But yeah, so I think the Sprinters are going to do good. I'm going to keep them probably this size for a season or so and just really keep them short and force more of a network of branching because they do grow so beautifully upright. The big thing over here that's happening, look at my spray paint lines.
Wow.
I really went for it. I tried to differentiate where we're putting a dry creek bed. This is going to be all carved out to be the low point, filled with stone after some landscape fabric is put on there. Just some like river rock kind of stuff. Not to make an official French drain, but just to be a new low point. Because some of these plants over here, they're in a pond a lot of the time after a rain. And then you'll notice there's this other bed right here happening. And this is going to become the beginning of a skinny kind of hedge-ish in front of the dry creek bed. There's some other options floating around. There's a beautiful blue spruce coming that it might need to live right here. It should live right here. It's just a matter of configuring this bed.
It's a very small blue spruce hybrid.
Yes. So when it's small, it might just look really good right here. And then this bed, of course, bumps out, who needs grass? I did notice over here when I was putting these lines in that we're getting beautiful growth on the Canadian lilac. That's the Pocahontas lilac right there. We haven't seen too many blooms on that because it is sort of the edge of the bed and the deer take after it so often, but I think we're going to get blooms on that this year, which will be nice. More of that purple flag iris sticking out. Isn't that a pretty color?
It really is pretty.
It's a really, really nice color.
As you're talking, I can't help but think like low hedge in front of the dry creek bed. And I'm thinking, like, what are the smallest hydrangeas that we could make a hedge out of, or smallest roses?
There's lots of small hydrangeas and roses that could do that.
I know.
That'd be fun. Gosh, oh, what else did I see over here? The Sonic Pink. Sonic
Sonic Bloom.
Sonic Bloom Pink is doing beautiful. This Weigela, it's been in the ground for a couple years. These do rebloom, but they don't really rebloom for a couple years. They need that root system to be really established for the energy to push the new blooms later on in the summer. But this has been in the ground for a couple years. So I'm hoping that we see some of that hot pink growing out right over the little lime hydrangeas. It's going to be really fun. I'm probably going to have to share this back one day when those grow, though.
New garden space right here. We are calling this the Dahlia bed. We dug out this curve here so that Christopher could plant all of the dahlia seedlings that he's growing in the basement right here, as well as a beautiful Calgayan that was sent to us from Darcy's Dahlias. Excited about that. Come on along this way, Christopher. And we'll head back over here to the Snowball Viburnum, which is opening day viburnum. Last year we missed out on the flowers because of a very late frost. Zapped them all. We're still not past our final frost date yet, but you can see all the buds. Our final frost date is like May 8th, I think. But it's an average.
It is an average. Last year we went way past the average, but I like that those look like broccoli right now.
Yeah, these little candy corn spireas. Yesterday morning, the morning before, I saw a really large rabbit.
It was really
just like
big.
sitting here eating them.
Mm-hmm. But right there, under your right hand, the third one there is a candy corn.
Oh, and it didn't eat that one.
They didn't eat that one, so maybe it just needs to get taller.
Yeah, maybe. All of our bluebells are looking great. The quince, the color is really coming. It's
close.
A beautiful iridescent corally orange, which I really like. And then that just kind of takes us back to around the patio. We've got more sprinter boxwoods that just got a haircut. These are more viburnum. These are steady Eddie viburnum. If you like a lace cap viburnum, these are a great choice. They have a nice compact size and they bloom the entire season. Not exaggerating. You will have flowers on these the entire season. This grass, Christopher, is coming back. What was that one called?
That is El Dorado Calamagrostis.
That's a cool one.
I've been practicing.
The reminiscent pinks are very awake right now.
With that peony?
Yeah.
I can't believe there's a peony in there.
Now, these are Let's Dance Skyview. I don't know if the stems survived the winter, but there's new growth from the base. Again, this is a big leaf, so it blooms on old wood, but this is bred to also bloom very quickly on new wood. Haircut. The Invincibelle Sublime Hedge is really waking up. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice. They were looking really good.
Very awake. The fountain is on because it has to be because it's spring, and I love it. Bloomerang Purple. All budded up, ready to go. Tough Stuff Aha. Nope, Tough Stuff Top Fun right here. All fresh growth from the base. Some buds are swollen, but the tips maybe didn't survive the winter, but they were just planted in the fall.
Look at how windy it is. The fountain was just blowing sideways behind you.
Wow. It is windy. Sprinters looking good. This got all rearranged. We did a whole video about it. We kind of shifted all the elevated beds over, to the east a little bit. Added these cool extenders on. Really adds a nice grandeur. I'm loving that.
And I am, though, Eric, I got to tell you, I think there's one more seed that I need.
One more seed?
One more seed.
What?
I want a pink Thunbergia black-eyed Susan
I
vine.
like black-eyed Susan vines. Yeah, they're pretty.
Just that, but it's got to be the pink kind.
And I don't know if you noticed I left these here purposefully because this is where we're thinking of planting the Malvern Hills. And I wanted to see if it bugged me to have something here to walk around, and it absolutely has not. I haven't even noticed it. So I think the plan to move ahead to plant Malvern Hills right here in the ground, you know, we'll push the rocks back and, you know, cut through the landscape fabric and give it all the nutrients it needs, but train it to go up the pergola and split. It's on its way, so I think that's a go.
It's going to be so beautiful to
Yeah.
have. And Malvern Hills has kind of a creamy, is it yellow or
yellowy,
orange?
yeah. We have our first bloom open on the bonfire patio peach right here.
I will say, as someone who has tried to, and well, I would say successfully cooked with a bonfire patio peach, don't.
It's hard to cook with.
It's beautiful and ornamental, but they are not freestone. They are pretty difficult to cook with.
Look, we've been hardening off our cuttings. I can't believe how much they've grown.
These have done beautifully.
I should pop them out here and get a little more sun.
Yeah, we'll leave them there. Well, we might want to put them down in case they get blown over in this wind.
And then this one is a cutting from a different hydrangea. You can see that variegation on it. This one doesn't like as much sun, so I'll leave it back where it was. But, you know, things have gotten fresh coats of paint. Things are waking up. It's a really exciting time of year. So that about wraps up our weekly walk around the garden. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.
We have discovered the coolest tool for tying things in the garden, and it is called the Max Tapener, and it was brought to our attention by Yulia. So what you do is you click it together, and it gets your piece of tape here. And then you, Christopher, come on and close.
I'm zooming.
And then all you do is wrap it around what you want to tape, click it together, and it's taped. We just did, come over here, our entire row all over. It makes it so easy. So I would just like click it together, go around, and train the rows. It's amazing.
I love this thing. I'm so glad that you got it.